Welcome to episode 354 of the Postal Hub podcast. I'm Ian Kerr. Joining me in a moment is Guillaume Guersing. He's the head of consumer services at Geopost. And we're going to talk about Singular. Joining me on the line is Guillaume Guersing. He's the head of consumer services at Geopost. And today we're talking about Singular, which is, well, we should ask the question, Guillaume, what is Singular?
Hello, Ian. So, Singular is a platform in which we showcase the best local SMEs from our customer portfolio to the millions of consumers who connect to our platforms on a daily basis to track their parcel.
So tell us a bit more about who are the retailers who are involved in the platform, how are they selected, things like that.
So we decided to select only SMEs, so small and medium enterprises. So you can wonder why, Geopost is working with big corporations, big brands like Nike, like Zalando and others. But first, they don't really need us. And on the other hand, we really wanted to help our, small and medium customers, SMEs, local SMEs, to help grow their business, to expose them to the millions of consumers who connect to Geopost channels on a daily basis. So this is the concept of Singular.
So it's a bit like a big shop window for them. How do you actually select those retailers? Do you invite them? Is there a lottery? How does it work?
So we only select Geopost customers. So we select local brands, only exclusive products. So we are not selecting drop shippers, resellers. We really want to focus on local brands, local e-merchants with exclusive products, most of the time from the lifestyle product categories. So fashion, beauty and wellness, home furniture, food and beverages as well. So in this context, we can provide a really interesting and inspiring portfolio of brands to our consumers.
I think it's quite interesting that you've basically self-selected those not manufacturers, what's the word, like the artisans and the creators and those sorts of people, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's like a new sales channels to those SME. So really want to help them grow to be exposed to the millions of e-shoppers that track their parcel on our channels on a daily basis. So it's a really opportunity, a good opportunity for them to be exposed and to grow.
Now let's talk about it from the Geopost perspective, because we can understand why the retailers would like to be involved, and nobody says no to free publicity, do they? I suppose. But let's look deeper into what's happening from the Geopost perspective. Why did Geopost develop this platform?
Historically, Geopost and through its business units in Spain and Italy, in France, and so on. So we are a key player in supporting the local economy. So we deliver parcels from our customers, from SMEs, on a daily basis. We help them grow in a way. And so we have always been a key player in supporting the local region, the local economy. And so we were wondering how we can go a bit further, how we can expand, our value proposition by providing new services to our consumers and really help them grow even faster, even bigger. And so this is how we found this concept of what we call the discovery platform. And I will get back to it in a second because it's an important point. But we were wondering how to provide even more support, even more help to help them grow and develop the local economy.
So tell us again, you just mentioned you're going to come back to this idea of the, what did you call it, a discovery platform? So What do you mean by that?
Yeah, in fact, we are not selling anything on the platform. There is no transaction on Singular. So if a user who connects to Singular, he's interested in a specific product, he just click on the Shop Now button and he will be redirected to the merchant's website to finalize his purchase. So it's like we are just showcasing, we are just importing the product catalog of our merchants. And so in a way, the merchant keeps the relationship with the end user. So this is really key for us as well. All the payment, checkout payment, delivery process is managed by the merchants. it keeps the relationship with the end user. So this is how we think it's a good opportunity for them.
And this leads me to one of my questions about this, which is why develop a discovery platform, as you've put it, instead of a full-blown e-commerce marketplace? When you see that some postal operators around the world have developed a marketplace where they encourage local small businesses to sell, and the postal operator might be handling the merchant facilities and the fulfillment and the delivery, or some part of that. Why did you choose to go down this route instead of the marketplace route?
In fact, we wanted to start with something really simple. With Singular, it only takes 15 minutes from a merchant to get onboarded on the platform. No paperwork, no commission. It's a free platform. We are not asking anything to the merchants. It's free for the merchant, for our customers. So we wanted to start with something really simple. We wanted to test the concept. See if we can manage to generate traffic on Singular, if we manage to generate traffic on the merchant website, if we can indeed, help them, grow their business. If it's the case, if this, first step is successful, then we can consider, moving on to a bigger phase, a second step in which we can implement a marketplace concept.
You mentioned earlier about this idea of growing e-commerce as well. I know it's early days. I didn't even ask you when you've launched the first site, but since the launch, have you seen any measurable difference to the size of e-commerce or any sort of positive results out of this?
In fact, we started a few months ago in May in Italy with our business units BRT. And so far the results are really quite and are really promising in terms of traffic generated, in terms of redirections to our merchant website. So we launched a few weeks ago a survey to our merchant in Italy to ask, are you happy with this new service? Does it help you on a daily basis or not? And most of the merchants were saying, okay, yeah, we are really happy with this opportunity. And yes, it helps us, we are having more traffic, and sometimes, not all the times, but this is just the beginning, so most of them are saying, yeah, it helps developing my business.
You mentioned that the first market where the platform was launched was Italy. I understand you've launched in other marketplaces since. I've got it on my mind, everybody. In other countries since then?
Yes, Italy was the first country to be released, and so we followed in September with Spain and Croatia. And it's quite interesting because Spain decided to focus on the food market. They launched a service called Seur Frio. Seur is the business unit in Spain, and so they have this interesting service for all the fresh food deliveries. And so they wanted to focus and help their food customers. So that's why, Seur decided to focus really on the food market, and Singular is really dedicated to the food in Spain.
What about Croatia, on the other hand? What are main characteristics of Singular in Croatia?
So the main concept of Singular is to provide lifestyle products. So fashion, clothes, shoes, cosmetics, and so on and so on. So Croatia, Italy, they provide both different product categories and from the lifestyle categories. We are not selling, we are not selling anything, but we are not showcasing any, automotive equipment, any tech devices. There are plenty of websites that, provide this kind of items. We really want to focus on the most interesting, categories for the e-shoppers.
Now, earlier you mentioned that the merchants who are present on the platform are Geopost customers. Have you had any interest from customers who aren't yet using Geopost services? Have you had any inquiries from them?
Yes, indeed. There is a form available on Singular that allow any merchants, even non-Geopost customers, which are interested in this concept, to fill the form. The form is sent to our business unit, and then we contact the merchants. And if they are not, existing customers, we're going to have like an agreement with this merchant. Of course, all the parcels that come from Singular needs to be delivered by our business units. This is the only condition. Otherwise, any merchant can join the business unit and the platform and Singular to be exposed on Singular as well.
Now, if anybody wants to have a look at the Singular website, what's the address? What's the URL that people should tap into their browser?
So you can connect to singular.shop, and then you choose the country where Singular is already available. More countries to come, by the way. We are currently working with Belgium, with Slovenia, and there are other big markets to come in 2025.
I'll put a link to the Singular website as well on thepostalhub.com. So if you head over to the episode page on the Postal Hub, you'll find a link there to the Singular website. Guillaume Guersing, Head of Consumer Services at Geopost, thank you very much for joining us on the Postal Hub podcast today.
Thank you, Ian.
Coming soon on the Postal Hub podcast, Mark Fallon from the Berkshire Company returns to talk about the US Postal Service, and we have more planned for the rest of 2024. Make sure you don't miss any of these great episodes. Well, I've only mentioned one, really, but there are more coming. Subscribe to the Postal Hub podcast in the podcast platform of your choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Amazon one, or any of the others. They're all great, I'm sure. Subscribe, leave a rating, a review, like a really positive one. But not so positive people think that's been planted there by me, all right? Just walk the line. You can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow the Postal Hub podcast on LinkedIn if that's your thing. Please do also subscribe to the email newsletter that I offer, which is sent out whenever I send out a new episode. Send out, you know what I mean. If you want to email me about anything at all, but hopefully something relevant, my email address is ian@thepostalhub.com. I'm Ian Kerr. Thanks for listening in, and I look forward to your company next time on the Postal Hub podcast.